a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Decom Descendants. Bran, Aaron, Dan, we're all here to break down the next.
That was our roll call. We do a roll call every episode.
Roll call?
So thank you. Thank you. Present and accounted for.
The next decom in the long list of decoms, Jett Jackson the movie. Jett Jackson the movie, everybody.
We did it. We made it.
Very excited.
Before we get there, Bran, we do have some new reviews.
Okay.
People have been,
Nude
Reviewing?
reviews?
No, not nude. New.
We don't
reviews.
know what people are
Ratings,
wearing when they're
They
writing
could
the
be
reviews.
nude when they write them. I don't know. I don't have that kind of. No.
We would never ask what someone
We
was
wouldn't.
wearing.
But a few. Remember last time we had one Bluey that's like, is this about? What is this about?
I do remember. What is it about?
That's right. KJ3763, the cousin of KJ52.
Oh, dear Slim.
Says the subject is it is about, and then the review is segueing between segues. It rules.
That's
That is
true.
it. So you crushed it. Meg Cole 07. Oh no, we've already read that one. It's so nostalgic. That's right. And then we got one more from EAN, all caps.
Ian,
we'll say. As someone a little too old to have watched all but the oldest decoms when they first came out, only saw Smart House and the original Halloween Town and
That's
no
fair.
others.
Those are some good ones.
This show is still a great listen.
calm down there.
And we don't need your approval.
If you're only going to see two decoms, those are two good ones.
Yeah, thank God.
Can you imagine if he'd seen like You Lucky Dog and Hounded?
How do you know it's a he? What are you
Or
doing?
she?
It's EAN.
It's Ian. I know we said Ian,
Yeah,
so I can see how she got there.
You're right. I'm sorry. They?
And the next line is, and my pronouns are they, them,
Oh.
Aaron. Thank you. That's weird. That's the next line here. Aaron doesn't respect pronouns. It's good to know. People first language.
You
is
don't
important,
have-
guys.
you don't have to
we
put
have
that-
to tell Aaron that so many times around here.
You don't have to put that in our in your reviews, but you can if you want to. That's totally your choice.
Certainly can.
It's totally your choice.
To finish this up, it's fun to hear Daniel give an adult first-time watcher's opinion. It's fun to hear an adult opinion, is what she or he is saying.
Yeah.
She or
Yeah.
he, she or they, what they're saying.
I
As
wonder
I
who
would
doesn't
say.
respect pronouns now.
Yeah. You. On some of the crazy movies while Brandon and Aaron try to defend their childhood idea of what these movies are. Finally got to give a shout out to Channel 25 in the LA area for Disney Channel.
Los Angeles.
That's right.
The
Love
City
it.
of Angles.
Thank you, Ian. Whomever you may be.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You know, that first review made a great point about segues and that segues rule. You know what else
Crushing
rules?
Delish. Got the music going.
We do.
Yeah.
Aaron outdoes herself in these segments.
She wakes up early or stays up late, coming up with some sort of
Plan is
I
real.
have done both of those
creative
things.
beverage or snack or food of any sort that could go along with the movie. Today we're watching Jett Jackson the movie. I can't wait to see what Aaron comes up with today from the kitchen of Aaron Shea. Aaron, what do we have today?
This one doesn't come from the kitchen of Aaron Shea. It comes from the kitchen of the
Nabisco.
Decom Descendants.
The Bramble Jam.
The Bramble
Yeah.
Jam kitchen. There were a couple ideas floated around. It's really hard to come up with a delish for a movie that nobody eats the entire movie.
The entire movie.
Or drink. I'm realizing now they also didn't drink a beverage.
It's weird.
No
It's
one-
a
no one even
weird
drank
90
water?
minutes of no eating or drinking at all.
Is everyone okay? In
Yeah.
Wilsted?
And it's also a very specific movie where this actor goes into a portal.
Yeah.
It's tough. What do you do for that?
So we just kind of,
Don't say we. Don't
No.
throw us into this mix.
Yeah, wait a
It's
minute.
your segment.
it's almost like we had a conversation.
It's your segment.
And I
It's
said,
your
don't throw
segment.
me under the bus
You
here.
had
segment.
so much time.
It's your segment. What do we
I
got?
had hours. We're going to go with a Star Wars Use the Force Oreo.
Wow. Tell me why.
Yeah, because you have none for you.
Oh. That was sad.
It's not your birthday yet.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
it's after your birthday, so it's not your birthday yet again.
Correct. It has been my
Yeah,
birthday
it was.
already.
Oh my gosh. This is darn tootin' awesome. The middle of this is a portal.
Right.
Look at that.
So on one side,
Did you do that?
on one side you have Jett Jackson. On the other side you have Silverstone, and in between them you have a magic portal. It brings them together for some delish.
Did you do this right here? Did you add that?
For sure.
Did you know it before I opened it
I
up?
did.
Okay.
I did know there was
Did
a
you
portal.
say,
side.
oh my gosh, darn tootin'? Is that what you said?
Oh, well.
No, I did know there was a
There you have it. Man,
Oh, good.
best episode ever.
They're still selling those? If anybody wants to do this?
Create the delish segment at home.
Yeah.
Recipe will be given out on the socials.
If you want to have some
Go
other
to
ideas,
Publix, buy
Chicago
Oreo.
hot dog was thrown out there.
Uh-huh.
Also a James Bond martini, shaken,
Yeah.
not stirred.
Yeah.
If
Yep.
you want to be a newer James Bond, you could just crack open a Heineken. But sometimes we record this in the morning, and none of those seem great. So
That's right. Sometimes we do. Yeah.
The hot dog idea, the Chicago hot dog, was a great idea until Chicago disappeared, and there went all the hot
New York
dogs.
did too.
well, it was in honor of.
In honor
could have
of
done a New
let's pay our
York-
respects.
New York style versus Chicago style pizza and just have two blank plates
We did have pizza for lunch.
They're
Could've just-
gone.
because they're gone.
Oh, that's sad.
Remember, if they were still here,
We could have
have
some deep dish.
some
You know who
deep
else
dish.
is gone? We are. We're taking a break. We'll be right back here on Decondescendence.
Decondescendence.
Wow.
It would have been so sad.
Would have been, right? Womp womp. More creative than Oreos, though.
Welcome back.
We use they, them, Aaron, when people don't want to necessarily identify.
That's
as
their
man.
choice.
We call that non-binary, is what we call it. Now, I know there's a lot of information to have to take in at once, but it's important. It's important to treat people with respect.
You should treat women with respect.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying right now.
Let's talk Jett Jackson, the movie that followed television program, The Famous Jett Jackson. It originally came out on June 8th, 2001, directed by one Sean Levy.
Who's done nothing since.
Nothing since then.
Definitely not the director of the biggest movie of the year this year. So.
Written by
Adam Project?
written
Free
by
guy?
Bruce Kalish.
It's got to be Kalish, right?
Could be. It's Bruce
Bruce
Kalish,
Kalish.
who enjoyed the Delish segment.
Yeah.
Starring Lee
Were
Thompson.
you guys big fans of the television program?
Did really like it. Yes, did really like it.
Got it.
Starring, of course, Lee Thompson Young. Got to say Lindy Booth, Nigel, Sean Williams, and many more. Of course, Michael Ironside. Are we ready?
Let's do this.
Dive in.
I've never been more ready in my life for an
Wow.
episode.
The movie kicks off with the filming of an episode of Jett Jackson's famous TV show, Silverstone. He is Silverstone,
the lead.
and he's awesome. He's running away from explosions, and it's pretty cool. But Jett Jackson, he's just a normal kid. He's just a normal high school kid that wants to go to prom with his best friend, Kayla. Is that too much to ask?
I would love someday to walk away from an explosion. Like
It would be awesome. It would be awesome.
When our lease is up here,
you can't say what. I would stop whatever you're saying right now.
This is
Yes.
this is
we can pretend.
Yeah.
this is on tape.
Pretend.
We could do a thing
If
where we
anything
get
happens
a
to this office.
yeah, no, we get a model of a building, we film it being like blown up,
Yeah.
and then we green screen it
Oh yeah,
and we walk
we
away.
have a green screen somewhere.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take that stuff back, guys. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Brand,
It was a
did
bit.
you hire people to blow up this building?
Even though our lease isn't up.
to bring in the gear slowly over time so they won't
I
become
don't like it.
suspicious.
I don't even know if we can. Like, there are
It
other
is-
people in this building. Like, what are you?
We would do it after hours.
You're an act.
We would do
you're
it after
basically
hours.
doing an act of terrorism.
We would do it after hours.
I don't know if I want to work in a space that has
I don't blame you.
unattended explosives
I don't
for a
blame you.
year.
I
We
don't
put
blame
a
you.
blanket over top of them.
You put a blanket over
Yeah.
top of them.
You've been working next to them for months and you haven't said
I
a
didn't
thing.
even notice.
Now, Bran, I know we have discussed naming the studio the Brandon Gray Memorial Podcast
That's
Studio.
if you die and
but
they collect the money.
if
Yes.
you blow up the building, it does not become the Brandon Gray Memorial.
No.
Like if you had a hand.
You do become a felon, but it does not become that.
And then we distance ourselves
That's
from
right. I
you.
didn't actually bring any of the stuff in, though, and I think that's
I want
important.
to be clear. This is a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's a bit.
Jett.
Brand just coming and making it seem not like a bit.
Jett's getting antsy, much like my friends over here. And it's almost like he doesn't want to be Silverstone anymore.
Silverstorm is a different.
Silverstone.
That's one of the X-Men.
Yeah, he's one of the X-Men. He doesn't want to be Silverstone anymore, but the studio really wants to go
There's
big.
Silver Surfer, and then there's just Storm.
Storm.
Yes. Silverstorm is one of the lesser known.
And then there's Jett Jackson, Silverstone. It's a stone. The studio, though, wants to go all in on Silverstone. They want to go big. They want to do multiple seasons. It feels kind of meta. Like Disney's up against it. Should we extend the Jett Jackson franchise?
It feels very meta. As someone who didn't watch the show, I need to say at the outset, this felt like this lead character working through whether or not he wanted to continue acting on screen in the weirdest way possible. I don't know anything else about it. We read some, he's from my hometown, shout out Columbia, South Carolina, but it does feel like this is a weird thing where it's like, should they keep moving forward with the show?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing, though, is they were at their 65 episode
there's nothing we can do.
limit. So Disney's hands were tied.
Yes.
There's nothing they could do.
So they gave him a nice little movie.
Nice little movie.
I mean, it's the first, decom based on a series.
Yes, and they made the movie, and spoiler alert, at the end, they make you think there might be more Famous Jett Jackson.
And there wasn't.
Yeah.
There's not.
Thanks, Disney.
So he has a big decision to make, and things go they get real quick because while shooting, it forces him to miss the prom with best friend Kayla.
Yeah,
Which they were going together.
Yeah, let's be clear. They were going separately.
Okay.
But they were going to,
This is that
while they're
classic-
alone, they were going to dance.
This is a classic thing that they were like, let's go as friends. Like that happened all the time in high school. It's a weird bit. But
If you're 30 and I'm 30 and we're not, do you want to get married if that's the case?
The kid I took to prom, I had a deal like that with him.
for 30?
Yeah, he got married.
Okay. All right. I was about to say.
We're still friends, though. We just talked the other day.
How about that?
Shout out, Casey.
Shout out Casey. Has he left a review?
I don't think he listens.
That gummit, Casey.
Damn it, Casey. It's the least
Nimrod.
you could do. You were going to marry her.
No kidding. The next day, so he's real sad about this, obviously. He runs into prom.
He married his high school sweetheart. What are you going to do?
Okay. Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
She's the best.
It's so she didn't bring Oreos though to a recording, and so how cool can she be?
Jackie's pretty cool.
Stop,
I'm going to make him listen to this.
Jackie. Shout out.
Jackie. I guess you're cool. So he's sad. He's kind of bummed about the whole prom situation, and he's just kind of like completely over this whole acting deal. So the next day he goes to work and he's doing his stuff, and a soda that's on top of some console with knobs and
It's like if I were to put a soda on top of...
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the consequences far more dire. Brand's
We
already
don't
broken
know.
one of those. We know.
We didn't spill anything on
That's
it.
true.
We
That's
just,
true.
He just unplugged
It could open
forever.
up another
All right, guys, bring it
podcast.
in. Bring it in.
It could open up a podcast portal. We're on the other side of that. We're really podcasters.
Yeah.
I mean, on the other side, our mics are actually plugged in.
That's right. That's right.
People like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over in the other
Well, they
portal.
like us.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's fair.
I think the reviews are
So-
on Aaron and me.
So
Carrying this whole
that's right.
thing.
the drink spills, which causes a big, which goes down wires. Obviously,
Sparks.
everybody knows how sparks work. The sparks go down to the wire and to this portal that was created for the show. This it's a set piece, and when Jett Jackson, who is acting at the moment, falls through this portal, he does fall through. It becomes a portal, and he falls
Yeah,
through.
we've said portal way too many times. I
So
know that.
Jett
It
Jackson
doesn't sound like a real word anymore.
portal.
Yeah.
Is it
Portal.
Portal.
Is it
Portal.
Portal.
portal?
I'm going through the portal.
It's a turtle.
Portal.
Swim.
Hello? Where's turtle?
Not here. There's
Oh,
no water.
yeah.
There's no water.
We kind of changed sets. This is still here though, right? What's underneath there? was the happy birthday thing.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So
It was 2 days ago, but thanks for finally acknowledging it.
So Jett Jackson.
Can you believe he boycotted your birthday lunch 2 days ago?
That's unbelievable.
It was rough.
He wouldn't show up. It's crazy.
That's
He did show up to the restaurant, but he sat at a completely different
That's right.
booth.
He did.
And I sang
Yeah,
while
he-
waiting for the
he
food.
actually
You can't
booed
stop
the
me.
whole time I was trying to order.
Boo.
It's crazy.
Boom. So Jett Jackson wakes up and all of the actors are suddenly like acting like they're real characters, not breaking character at all. And that is because they are real.
They are who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were. Silverstone then wakes up and he is confused by who the heck all these people are, what a cast, what a crew is. He doesn't know what's going on. What is this camera? He's confused by why his headquarters is a TV set. He doesn't understand. So we have a switcheroo.
Portal switcheroo.
It's a Freaky Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
But both are the same person.
Both are the same person. One that we
And I
thought
will say
wasn't
this,
real.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan figure out they're not who they thought they were in minutes.
Yes.
These two Jett Jackson Silverstone creatures, it takes them, I don't
Too
know,
long.
years
Very long time.
to
And-
figure out what's going on.
And I will say, eventually Silverstone gets it, and it takes our boy Jett,
Jett, buddy.
buddy, like an hour.
We love you.
An hour into the
but
movie.
the runtime's almost done and you have not.
And he is
Crack
still
the
just
case
like,
over there.
I don't know what's happening here.
Tough.
Buddy.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough out there.
Yeah. It was like Brandon Oppenheimer. It
That's
took
right.
him a while to.
It's crazy.
It's like, tell me about this bomb. It's a real bomb.
There's a bomb.
Not here.
Whoa, not no.
Send him out.
No,
I
that,
told
no,
him to
not
get rid of
that
it.
bomb. The historical.
Get rid of it. So Silverstone walks out of the set and is ambushed by TV crew. The reason why he's ambushed by the TV crew is because they were doing a live press conference where he was going to announce, Jett Jackson was, what he was going to do, whether or not he was going to continue to be Silverstone or not. You know how you make high school actors make that announcement in front of a live camera crew.
Immediately after getting off the set, no
That's right.
chance to take off, change back into your clothes or take your makeup off. Just done with shooting, great. There is a crew outside. If you could just go stand in the parking lot and make a big announcement.
Forget the high school part of it, which is bad in of itself. Imagine any TV show doing this. Imagine like all the guys from Lost, like walking up this
Let's bring the cast of Friends out, see if they came to an agreement.
Schwimmer and everybody comes out and they're like, look, we're going to do one more season. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's crazy.
And then throw on top of it, he is a minor who just suffered what everyone believes is a head injury. And they're like, you know what's good for that? Put him in front of the camera.
We've not even gotten to that, which is this
we
all
glossed
could
right
be
over
a
it.
dream. Like, this whole thing could just be a dream.
And I will say, it has been a while since I've seen this movie because it is not on Disney Plus. I believe that Disney does not own these rights. The IMDb description does say it's a dream.
Whoa. That's weird.
It says on his last day of filming, he suffers a head injury and wakes up in a dream where he is the real Silverstone. So going into this morning, that is what I thought happened. And so when Silverstone came through the portal, I was like, now I'm out.
I like that
That's
movie
crazy.
so much more.
So
Well, hold on. Let's wait and see what happens, Dano. Let's wait and see what happens for the people at home.
he could just
Spoiler
I've
alert.
seen it.
I know. But just wait.
You think talking it through is going to change my mind?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's how
I'm sorry.
That's how I process
I'll
things.
withhold judgment.
I process by talking out. By talking out things.
Process by talking.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Of turn about bombs.
So
if you're still listening, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
unless you work in this building.
Thank you.
Unless you work in this building, and then I'm sorry.
Wow.
For making you scared. Nothing's gonna happen. It was a bit.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. It was a bit.
Man.
It was a bit.
We're in the algorithms now.
Aaron doesn't believe in pronouns.
Hey, I can learn.
So can I, and I did. I sent him packing.
Dan gets so far down, he can't see the surface, and he's like, "Aaron, come on down here."
Help me out.
We'll get you by the end of it, Dana.
It's
Don't
me,
worry.
You
it's
guys
me
are
trying to
monsters.
help Brand out of
You
the
guys are
hole, but he's just
monsters.
pulling me back in.
Yeah.
So Silverstone. Dadgummit. Silverstone is
R2D2
is surrounded by these cameras, and he just yells the word no and runs off. What does that mean? Who can say, really?
And everyone assumes the no means I don't want to do this anymore.
So back to Jett Jackson.
They understood that no meant no.
That's right. Yes.
Back to Jett Jackson in TV land. He's freaking out. Where are all the cameras? Where's the crew? Why are these people so in character? This is crazy.
I was knocked out for a few minutes, and the set got so much cooler.
That being a dream is way cooler.
Can we talk it out for the love, Dan? Let's talk it out.
This is podcasting's about saying what's on your mind.
It's about talking it out.
It's both.
Should we also talk about how you feel about smoothies on a Monday? Should we?
I like them overall.
Okay.
Sometimes I just have to get there. I just have to work there. Just don't
my
ask
job
me
to
anymore.
help there,
Just
Brandon.
don't ask anymore.
You were just trying to be a good friend.
That's exactly what I was trying to do. An accountability, buddy.
We're just not going to talk about it anymore. We're just going to do it. Because if I have a second to think about it.
Well, I know this. Tomorrow we're doing birthday lunch. Thursday we're having smoothie. We got the week's done.
It's great.
Today was the only day in question.
Back to... so Jett Jackson is then attacked by some people, and they inject him with some blue juice. It's going to make him fall asleep. It's totally fine. Hopefully, after a good night's sleep, he will wake up and he'll feel like himself again. I'm sure it's going to work no problem. Silverstone is picked up by Jett Jackson's mom. Thank you.
Really good job.
And she's not concerned about how weird he's acting. It's just kind of like, there he is again, being weird. She drops him off at his dad's house, and he walks into his room and sees, headshot for Jett Jackson. Obviously. Poster of the TV show, and he's like, whoa, this is crazy.
That's him, and that's me.
That's him, that's you, and that's me, and I'm there, and I'm here.
And to be fair, it should have taken Silverstone longer to figure it out in Jett Jackson's world, but no. He cracks the case as soon as he gets home.
Yeah.
Jett?
But he still thinks he's in a TV show.
Just the whole city.
It's elaborated. The whole crew has gone method here. It's a method crew.
The crew's disappeared. You can't even see a crew.
That's how good they are. That's how good they are.
That's
no cameras anywhere. No cameras to be seen.
That's right. So his best buddy, Jett's best buddy, JB, shows up. Gotta have my JB. And tells Silverstone that Kayla's pretty mad about the whole prom thing. Silverstone then sees a picture of Kayla, and he's like, yeah, I might like living here. All right, guy, relax a little bit. Jett continues to not realize that he's living in a TV show. So the only thing they can think to do is to fly him to Chicago to see that Chicago has been completely wiped away from the
Well, it's part of
planet.
the mission, and they're like, are you okay to take this mission? And I think he says, he's not sure, but they... He's like, let's go get on the copter. And they're like, yeah, we are going to.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. And he does it. And then after they land, then he's like,
oh, wow.
I didn't know you guys really had a copter.
And he is still confused about the show.
Jett, buddy.
They're staring at a wasteland that used to be Chicago. And he is just like, wow, special effects.
There's one deep dish. Just
nice.
Giant.
That's good. That's good. We then meet the bad guy. It's evil Dr. Crag. His plan is to destroy big cities.
Yeah, played by an underutilized but spectacularly villainous Michael Ironsides.
That's right.
As well.
So up next is New York City. Now Chicago's out of the way. So Jett now has to act like Silverstone. He's got to be the hero. He's got to save the day. And so... They get to New York, they realize that stuff is going on, and then Dr. Crag basically says, it's happening at noon, the whole city's going to go away, and so Jett Jackson saves the day by getting out of the city and jumping into the Hudson.
He tells everyone he comes across to get out of New York.
Get out.
But
saves the day is...
he doesn't do anything.
He saves himself.
Yes.
By jumping into the Hudson. And who knew that was a cure for
whatever happened?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Hudson. Saves lives.
Yeah, you can't be
Heard it here first.
That's right.
Right. So they get
this
back...
This podcast does not recommend jumping into the Hudson.
Yeah.
Just want to be clear.
No.
We should have the triathlon in there. So Jett then sees Dr. Crag cut through and create a portal. Is it portal? Can I say portal? So Jett jumps through it after him and lands in this black and white world with no
Ultimate
sound.
New York.
Yeah, and he's freaking out.
It's a full independent film at this point.
Yes. He ends up getting into a fight with some baddies, and he's actually pretty good at the fighting. All that training has paid off. He's doing a good job, which is wonderful. Back in Jett's world, Silverstone is absolutely loving being a normal kid. He's hanging out with friends. He's riding a bike, which is something he knew how to do, which is actually pretty cool. And, you know, talking baddies like, hey, get out of here. I got shockwave pods. They don't work, but it's fine. But he's loving the world, and he's really loving Kayla. He's really loving getting to hanging out with Kayla.
Yeah.
And he feels bad, even though he wasn't at the prom. Either was Jett Jackson.
Yeah.
And he realizes that Jett done goofed, and so he's going to make it right. He sets up a whole thing so that they can slow dance together.
He tells Kayla he likes her.
Yes, which not really his place to do that.
No, it's not him.
But I think he was speaking from like, yeah, I do like this girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Listen, quick.
Not enough to stay in that universe.
No.
Well, he realizes it's not his place.
But also, Nana has some big speeches coming up. So
yeah, but it's a great romantic gesture.
That's right.
Has his friend play the song over the loudspeaker so they can slow dance. And
as a cop creepily watches,
Yeah, it's fine.
like just stares down the
They're
whole
buddies. It's fine.
We're having fun here.
So he shows up to work the next day, and he opens up his trailer door, and the whole cast and crew are there. They're cheering him on.
the town, the bullies are there. They've come around.
Because he says that the show's coming to an end. He said no, and he ran away. So we got to thank
Even though
him.
people are losing their jobs, they're like, we got to encourage.
It was awesome while it
old
lasted.
Jett. That's right.
That's exactly.
Yeah, they're like, it was fun, and you know.
Don't cry because it's over. Be happy because it happened.
Right, and it's like,
Amen.
hey, we had jobs in this town before the show came. You know, we'll be okay.
That's right. So all that's happening. He's loving life. He's even loving Nana.
That's right.
Do you want to talk about speeches with Nana?
I don't.
Dan, do you want to talk about speeches with
The
Nana?
thing about the grandmother in this movie is she's the only person that believes him when he says he actually is Silverstone and has switched. And
She does give a great speech.
gives 2 or 3 pieces of advice, all of which are like really like important for him figuring out who he is. And it's wild that no one else believes him.
Yeah.
And just one person does the whole movie.
Yeah,
long.
the one
It's wild.
that I really loved was when she, you know, he says something about not being Jett, and she's like, "Oh, I know." She's like, "When he was born, he looked into my eyes, and I looked into his eyes, and I will never not know those eyes."
That's crazy.
mean-
And I was like, "Okay." And so she was like, "I know my Jett."
Behind
But then
these
she's like,
hazel
"But
eyes.
you're here for a reason," and I was like, "Okay."
Amen. Amen.
And so I just really liked that there is one person in this world who truly sees you and truly loves you. And of course, I mean, I would say Nana, but he says Nana, and
It
that's
was weird.
his
Nana.
game. But
Nana.
yeah, I really,
Mommy.
Nana was my favorite character.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, it was great.
So Silverstone walks into work.
She also strikes me as the kind of lady where if you tried to like mess with her, she'd be like,
She would, no, absolutely.
yeah, like she's here for a sweet hug and probably will make you cookies, and then will also like beat you
that's
up
right.
if need be. Like,
That's right.
Need be.
Yeah, like,
If
she's the
need
best.
be.
Like if you try to steal her purse, forget about it.
I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. So Silverstone walks into work and he reads the script and he figures out what happened. Basically, he's like, "Oh, this is pretty clear." And now he has the information about what's going on in his universe. And
So he goes through the portal.
he goes to the
He
portal.
realizes that Silverstone is being set up for a trap.
Right.
And he's like, I would never take this. And he goes, but Jett would. I have to go help Jett.
That's right. So he goes through the portal prop, and once again, it's
Which
incredibly
nobody
easy.
on set has thought to walk through or even.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. And Silverstone tells Jett, "Hey, I read the script. I got this. You go back. You
Which
do
now
your."
is a weird thing because now that means that what's going on in Jett's world is affecting what's going on in Silverstone's world.
In a
They're
sense,
writing the script.
yes.
Boy,
It's
boy, howdy.
everything that they are writing
Seems
happens.
like a dream. Is all I'm saying.
Or
So, yeah.
are things or playing out in Silverstone's world, and someone else on the set is like having that dream. They're like, oh, that's how it's playing out. It reminded me of there's a plot line in Supernatural where that happens. A guy has a dream and he writes the stories down, but they're like actually happening to the brothers.
Like Stranger Than Fiction.
So
there you go.
There you have it. So Jet goes back
That's
to
not
his
what
world.
happened. Yes, so Jet does. Jet is like, okay, I can't wait to make things right with Kayla and finally have like a slow dance with her. Oh wait, no, that's already happened with Silverstone.
We're not going to get another chance to slow dance. Bummer.
It's totally cool.
Kayla's like, dude, we get one slow dance in our lives, and you used yours.
That's right. So Jet he heads back and he goes to destroy the portal, but the prop guy is like, whoa, man, we need that for the show. Look, it's all here in the script. And so Jet then reads the script and he realizes that Silverstone is going to die.
Yes,
at the
they're killing Silverstone off in the script. And so,
So
He goes
Jet
back.
decides to go back. He swings in. He saves Silverstone just as he's about
and
to.
everyone's like, "Oh
to
my God,
buy.
there's two of them."
Yeah, it's crazy. They're working
Lindy
together.
Booth is there.
Yeah, Lindy Booth is there, hanging out.
Important.
They begin to fight off the baddies. Crag is disguised himself to look like Jet / Silverstone. So now there's three
of them.
but it's no match for them. They can
figured it
tell
out immediately.
Yeah.
It's not even.
They're like, it's the less attractive Jet.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they celebrate, which is wonderful. He goes back. Jet goes back into his world. He celebrates with the cast and crew. They cheer for him again. Like, hey, great. And he holds hands with Kayla. And then Jet stands up on the back of a pickup truck to make an announcement. Silverstone is going to continue.
As
and
long as they'll
everyone,
have me.
That's right. And everyone cheers. And that was
Jett Jackson, the movie.
We're going to talk about it more after this break here on Decom Descendants. Wow. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Jett Jackson, the movie.
Before we do overtime, I do have a question. If he had quit the show, if Jet had quit the show and they had canceled it, would that other universe cease to exist?
No.
It would have kept going, even though they know the script. The script is how the thing.
Well, I think the other other world
Look out.
We're losing her.
is happening.
But
And
it's
then-
based upon a script they're writing in.
I think
No, I think the script is based on.
Okay.
I think someone is getting basically having a dream or a vision.
Okay.
Of what's playing out in the
Fair.
other world and writing the script.
We can go to overtime now.
It's time for overtime.
fair.
Is where we talk about
Fair.
how this movie aged over time. Basically, what are our thoughts on it? I do have some Letterboxd reviews if you would like it.
I'd
Sarah,
I love it.
Sarah says Jett
Happy birthday,
Jackson.
Dan? That's
Happy
a
birthday,
weird
Dan. That's
review.
what somebody
Thank
said.
you, Sarah.
Sarah, your wife left her Letterboxd review for the Jett Jackson
She
movie to wish you a
loves
happy
a
birthday.
letterbox review.
Damn, Jett Jackson.
Very layered. Sarah, another Sarah, says Jett Jackson walks so Hannah Montana could run. I guess so. It's
All
the
right.
best of both worlds. You got two people. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
something.
I mean, everybody knows that he's Jett Jackson.
Yeah.
It also reminded me a lot of Casey Undercover, which is
Okay.
Zendaya's
Are
movie.
we watching any Hannah Montana stuff?
Hannah Montana
No.
Montana movie was theatrical.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a movie, there's a TV show with Zendaya where she is an undercover agent
Okay.
as
There you go.
a child. But so it reminded me of that a lot, but no one knows that she's.
Fair. JF the Lolzer said, you ever think about how this came from the same director of Deadpool and Wolverine? And yeah, I do
that's-
think about it. I
that's a
thought about it a
brand
lot.
new
Yeah, that's a new review.
Yeah.
Thought about it this week, actually. Big Beak says Sean Levy made a John Woo movie with the budget of Neil Breen movie. Dan, does that mean anything to you?
I know who John Woo is. and
Yeah.
John Woo has a lot of slow motion.
I guess Neil Breen might be an independent director that makes like low budget movies.
But John Woo did Face Off. When I said you should watch Face Off, I referenced it while even watching
There you
the
go.
movie. Neil Breen, I've never heard of though.
Neil Breen. Theo Payne says they seem like they like each other's realities a lot more than their own realities. It's fair. Frankie Cheese says the torrent of this movie took 3 days to finish downloading. Worth it. And Hunter C says this is a premise that you come up with as a 17-year-old and think it's great until you master screenwriting and you realize it doesn't quite work. Do we agree with any of that? Let's find out Aaron, thoughts on this movie? How did it age over time, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I really liked this movie. It was a little tough because I haven't seen the movie in a while or the show. I think it would be really tough to enjoy this movie if you have not seen the show, because it does build on a lot of events that happen over those 3 years. But I had a good time. It was nice to be back in the Silverstone world. It was good to see Lee Thompson Young back on the screen. Just got a lot of charisma. This movie aged really well for me. I was a big fan, and now I need to go find where I can watch this show because I just want to relive all of that again. I've seen the show. It's been a very long time, and I couldn't really tell you much of the plot points of any particular episode other than the general idea of the show. And so I was concerned going into this, like, would I be able to keep up? Because I just don't remember so much of it. And I felt fine. In fact, I loved this movie. I thought it was an absolute blast. It's crazy. It's nuts. Is it the best way that they could have told this story? No, probably not. Probably not. It's probably a little bit too, it's probably a little bit too messy for its own good, but I kind of like that. I like that there are things that they could have done that maybe would have made more sense, and they just chose not to do it and just go, either roll with us or don't roll with us. We don't really care. It's just a lot of fun. And Jett Jackson as a character, we get to see some of, but I really liked the stuff of Silverstone in Jett Jackson's universe. I thought that was really fun and made for some funny moments. And Lee Thompson Young is amazing. And we talked about him a little bit in Johnny Tsunami, and just how, like, I remember him being so much of a bigger part of that movie, just because when he's on screen,
he's so electric.
Yeah,
it's the best performance that we've seen so far in any of these DComs. He's just on another level than any of these other child actors that we've seen.
Based on how he's acting, it was pretty easy for me to keep track of. We're with Silverstone right now.
Oh, he does a great job.
He's great.
He does a really great job
in this movie. No doubt about it.
Playing both those people. I mean, yeah, it was fun to see Silverstone in Jett's world. I think a better movie is maybe what the original plot was. Wherever the dream part came on IMDb.
Fair.
Is if Jett wakes up in a dream after hitting his head.
So now we can talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Do you want to talk about that now?
I just want, at the end of the day, his performances in this movie is what makes this movie so good.
And just according to Wikipedia, he was in a play in Greenville, South Carolina, and decided then
You're welcome,
he wanted
everybody.
to be an
You're
actor.
welcome.
Shout
So
outs.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah,
that's right.
Back Greenville.
Yeah.
Dan, your thoughts on Jett Jackson?
Lee Thompson Young is super dynamic, and it's fun to watch him do his thing. And that was the best part of this. This movie did not work for me overall. I think it's because it's well shot, and you can tell that it wants to be entertaining. It just isn't. There's a much cleaner, better version of this movie. It did not need to be 90 minutes. It wasted that time. It takes a long time for us to establish the plot, and even longer time for these two characters to figure out their world. And by that point, they just switch back. Yeah. I think the fun is if you watch the TV show. I think that's who this movie's for. It's a love letter to those folks. I think it is very meta. Didn't work for me. His performance is great. Mm-hmm. Cool to see Lindy Booth. This movie didn't work for me. I was bored. I spent a lot of time looking at my watch. I was not thrilled with this movie. Not great for me. But I get it. I understand.
That's wrong.
I get it. You can't even look at me.
I am so mad. I'm like, let's just end the show right now. Yeah. Let's be done with it.
I think that's fair. I mean, while watching it, it was like if I hadn't seen this show and known these characters, you are coming in at the end of basically a TV show. It's like watching the finale of How I Met Your Mother and being like, how did I get here?
And not even a finale, but it's even more like a love letter to the fans. It's even more of like, hey, this is for you guys that stuck with us. It's like the Psych movies. Like if you've not seen the television show Psych, why would you go watch those movies that they made for USA or whatever? Like Community is going to make a movie. Like why would you go
Monk
and do
just
that?
had a movie.
Yeah, I don't, it wasn't, but I thought it was really convoluted. I understood the characters. I just thought there's got to be a better way to do this world switch than they're doing it. I think a dream is the way to go. So.
Or if he wakes
Dream's
up.
an easy way out. It's an easy way out.
But
I
it's
like
him where he wakes up, he's, almost like a Wizard of Oz, where he has to go through, I've been struggling with these things.
Yeah.
He learns all those same lessons, but then once he goes through the portal, he wakes up on set and he's just like, you know what? Let's do 3 more
We
years.
also have a head injury that starts this that's just never addressed the whole movie.
Never.
Which is wild.
Never addressed.
Yeah.
And nobody else, we talked about it, but the fact that nobody but Nana thinks that anything is going on here. Like,
Wild.
he's just walking around town with his best friend, like, do we know him? And his friend's like, yeah, bud.
You crazy silly boy.
Okay.
You crazy silly boy.
Like, at what point is someone going to be like, are you okay?
Not going to happen.
Yeah. The only thing I would have really...
Kayla might have asked, but she spent most of the movie mad at him.
That's right. The only thing I would have appreciated is if in when he goes back into his worlds and he's like, I got it from here, Jet. But also, hey, I kissed Kayla or I danced with Kayla or whatever. And he gets mad and they get in a fight. That would have been funny to me.
That would have been a fun time.
Would have been funny. Having them have some sort of like friction there, because he convinced Jet really easily, like, hey, you should scram out of here. Because Jet's like, hey, I can help. And he's like, no, I got it.
You got to go back to the people who love you.
Like, all right, great.
By the way, you're dating Kayla now.
Yeah, FYI.
But imagine seeing
When
two...
Kayla kisses you when you get back, don't worry about it.
Imagine seeing 2 major cities just leveled and being like, so you got it? I'm good.
You're good? You're good.
Yeah.
Great.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is time to make our lists. Check them twice and let everybody know where Jett Jackson's landing. And if there's been any shake-em-ups, Aaron?
No shake-em-ups.
No shake-em-ups.
Jett Jackson is going to premiere on my list at 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Between what 2 movies?
Phantom of the Megaplex and Color of Friendship.
God, you are so, I can't even look at you.
Where is that on the...
I'm just going to look this way. The idea that those 2 movies are in the same breath. First of all, how dare you? I don't even...
What's ahead of it?
Which one's
Phantom
ahead?
of the Megaplex.
Okay.
Phantom of the Megaplex is not top 10.
It's 11.
And Color of Friendship is 13.
Yeah.
I don't even. That's ridiculous. What is Rip Girls 14?
17.
Lost your mind. Lost your mind. You're not 8 anymore.
What's your top 10?
Number 1, Jett Jackson. Number 10, Brink. 9, The Other Me. 8, Quince. 7, Xenon.
10, Brink also got brand.
6, Halloween Town. 5, Luck of the Irish. 4, Smart House. 3, Miracle Lane 2. 2, Johnny Tsunami, starring Jett Jackson. And 1, Motocross.
Starring Jett Jackson.
The idea that Color of Friendship and Phantom of the Megaplex were next to each other before this movie is insanity. Put it away. It's done. That movie's bad.
You're bad.
Yep.
Got him. Jett Jackson is premiering in my top 10.
Oh my God.
Which means we can
You've
say...
lost your mind. You've lost your mind.
We can say goodbye to the movie Quince. Quince is falling down.
Kimberly J. Brown acts circles around everyone in the Jett Jackson movie.
No!
I said it. Yes.
No!
Yes, she does.
No!
Her scene where she breaks down crying is unbelievable. She does. Act circles around everybody in there.
Can you imagine if we had been lucky enough to get a Lee Thompson Young, Kimberly J. Brown movie?
Would have been amazing. Sorry, go ahead, Brand. Back to you.
10, Phantom. 9, Halloween Town. 8, Miracle in Lane 2. 7, Jett Jackson. 6, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I don't know why you're surprised by this. I was clearly significantly higher than this movie than all of you guys were.
I'm still shocked at the movies that you named before you named Jett Jackson.
That they're in my top 10?
That Jett Jackson's ahead of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to sneak in at 10 or something.
No, it's 7. 6, Mom's Got a Date. 5, Luck of the Irish. 4, Smart House. 3, Motocross. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, the greatest movie of all time, Brink.
You've lost your mind, too.
Okay, Dan. Well, here's the perfect list from Dano.
That's right. My list, Jett Jackson will not be making an appearance. It is 15 on my list, which I think is more than fair for a movie that is well made and has a good performance, but it is not good. It's not structured well and is kind of boring. It is ahead of Up, Up, and Away, and in front of it is Don't Look Under the Bed. It's at 15. So number 10 on my list, The Other Me. 9, Smart House. 8, Quince. 7, Phantom of the Megaplex. 6, Brink. 5, Miracle in Lane 2. 4, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. 3, Halloween Town 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, easily the best DCOM, Motocrossed. There you have it.
There it is. There it is, everybody. We are back next week with the Jenny Project. The Jenny Project. Don't worry, Dan. We're almost a jumping ship. We're almost a jumping ship. It's been a little while since we've seen the Lawrence Brothers. We're almost.
It's the Horseman sequel.
We're almost there.
There's a Horseman
We're almost
sequel?
there. Lawrence Brothers are almost back.
I quit.
Decom Descendants.
Decom Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Brandon Gray. For more information on Decom Descendants, you can go to decompodcast.com. Follow us on the socials at Decom Descendants. I quit.